We start where we often do with the Brooklyn Nets, but we spend so much time talking about Kevin Durant, not nearly enough time talking about that man, Kyrie Irving. There's been reports that Irving wants to return to the Nets, regardless if Kevin Durant is there or not. He's got 1 year left on that option he picked up. Jalen, will Kyrie be a Net throughout next season?
If I was the GM, he would definitely be a Net until All-Star break. Here's what I think everybody's underestimating about the Kyrie and the Nets relationship. Just like James Harden with the Sixers in a different way. The Nets can call Kyrie Irving right now with a 4-year max contract and he'll sign it. I think that's what's getting lost here. This isn't like the Kevin Durant situation where he's under contract and he's asking to be traded. Kyrie Irving hoped to get a long-term deal, and the Nets didn't give it to him. So here's an experiment that I'm gonna give you that I want everybody who thinks that they should move Kyrie or move KD, I'm gonna give you a thought experiment.
Let's do the thought experiment.
You go into training camp with both of them on the team. The squad is healthy. Ben Simmons is playing, Joe Harris is playing, Seth Curry is playing, Claxton is playing, like everybody balling. 15 games into the season, say they're 11-4.
Oh, at 10-5, 11-4, gotta be something like that.
KD averaging 30 on 50, 40, 90. Kyrie averaging 27.
Couple of big wins, couple of big national wins too.
They're now going to start having pride in their team and building what we have, what they've established. And I know we're going to talk about this with J.R. Smith later, about Dame and Rotten in Portland. Let me just point this out to everybody. I love Scottie Pippen. Like, he's a legend. And before I got in the league, while I was in the league, and since I've been out of the league, I consider him the most disrespected superstar of all time. The biggest disrespect that they gave him was calling him Robin. And now when people talk about Scottie Pippen and you see Scottie Pippen and The Last Dance is out, he's not celebrating that. He's not happy about that journey. And that's unfortunate to me. And you know who else I saw this happen with? Kevin Durant. Remember, he went to the Golden State Warriors to win championships. He wasn't necessarily the happiest there, so he left. You remember that? Are you old enough to remember that, Jacoby?
Of course.
And so now, while he does have the 2 championships, he's still searching for basketball happiness. You know how I know? He just asked to be traded from the team he wanted to go to. And he signed a 4-year deal with them. Plus they gave him Kyrie. Plus they gave him Harden. Plus I'm pretty sure that he knew that they were getting Ben Simmons. Plus they gave him Steve Nash. Like, so he has everything he wants. But you know what ended up happening? The Warriors won before him, with him, and after him. So that changed the dynamics because Kyrie didn't get a long-term deal. Do you think if Kyrie would have got a long-term deal from the Nets, KD would have asked to be traded? I don't.
I do not think so either. I think those two things are definitely linked, especially with the timing. It was announced that Kyrie picked up his option on, like, I don't know, a Thursday, and by next Monday it's announced that KD has demanded a trade and that Sean Marks is working with KD's representatives to facilitate that trade. So I, like you, think that the Nets, they obviously don't have any great offers on the table right now, or else the news would have been different. He would have been traded. So you bring him into training camp, and like you said, they're going to win basketball games. They have a great basketball team. By all accounts, everyone was unhappy in Brooklyn last year. That's because Kyrie wasn't playing, Joe Harris was hurt, they traded for James Harden. James Harden basically tanked, and then they got Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons didn't play. There was like 4 or 5 things that went horribly wrong for them that were just kind of they were not under their control. They didn't implode as a basketball team. Things happened that they could not control, which led to their failures. I think this team is easily one of the best 3 teams in the Eastern Conference if they just play with the roster they have.
Well, I got to disagree with you there because it was a choice for Kyrie not to get vaccinated.
But it's an extreme circumstance.
But that still was a choice, though. Just like Wiggins had a choice. Wiggins initially didn't do it. Don't think he wasn't pressured by his teammates in the organization to get vaccinated. To do something you haven't done sometimes you do have to do something that you're not necessarily willing to do. And for Wiggins, he ended up starting in the All-Star game, and he ended up winning his first championship and being a major factor for the Golden State Warriors. Kyrie not getting vaccinated, Jacoby, was the lead domino to James Harden's unhappiness. It was the lead domino to breaking up that original big three. So now that's my point. If you're the Nets, you don't panic. You still got the prize. You know what the prize is? KD. Everybody don't get this confused. KD's the prize. He's under contract for 4 more years. They can call Kyrie Irving right now and say, hey, Kyrie, we want to give you a 4-year max deal. He'll sign it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.